obviously, Canada is being currently reported as the 51st state because its policies and direction in the wider world is in many ways very closely tied to the US. I believe Trump's 51st state comments are entirely hyperbolic, but apparently they are fairly popular, as some people have said that, half or more than half of Canadians are open to the idea of becoming the 51st state. We would love to welcome you, because at the very least, we would like to wrest you away from the clutches of old Justin Trudeau. Now, of course, the current state of Canadian politics is such that Justin Trudeau is on his way out. Whether it happens sooner or later is debatable. Most people would say 2025 does not end with Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister, or in fact, probably the Liberal Party in power in Canada. That seems very, very highly likely. I was trying to find some odds on it, but couldn't find anything good. So right now, the article that we're looking at from the Associated Press is Canadian PM Justin Trudeau is not expected to announce a decision on his future over the holidays. Now, the reason, this is the headline, and it's a little bit of an old article, but the reason people would maybe expect him to be trying to announce something is that Chrystia Freeland, who was I believe currently the finance minister, resigned. She resigned because she wanted to be finance minister again or something along those lines, and Trudeau didn't give her the position she wanted. She resigned. And this is important because, according to many people, Chrystia Freeland was the power behind the throne. She was the person that was actually running the government, and Trudeau was nothing more than a spokesperson, a figurehead, a paper king, similar to a Biden or what, many people would say a Kamala Harris would have been. They were charismatic figures that could win an election, but were never expected to actually govern the country. Chrystia Freeland, if that is indeed the case, was running the country, and if she's out, that means that it's only Justin Trudeau at the actual tiller. Now, here's the deal. A, if that's the case, then Chrystia Freeland is a complete and total failure because of the enormous collapse of Canadian economics, safety, all of these issues. If she's the person who's been running the government, it's good that she's gone because she's not been doing a good job, right? Justin Trudeau still being in power, again, if he's not actually running things, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Maybe he gets a better, person, power behind the throne to actually run the country effectively, and he doesn't get ousted. That's not how politics works. He's super hated. The ship cannot be righted quickly. It's a large country. It's not going to happen overnight. People are going to oust him. It's going to happen. Will it happen in 2024? No. I mean, at this point, it's too late. Trudeau's on holiday. I don't even think Parliament is in session, so I don't even think they could call for a vote of no confidence and get him out if they wanted to. And even if they would, elections are not going to happen in 2024 because it's the end of the year. That being said, could be that, close to the end of January, we could be hearing the rumblings of Pierre Poilievre probably being, ushered into office. And therefore you've got, Trump and Poilievre doing whatever negotiation on, the future of Canada, Canadian-U.S. relations would be, which I think would probably be to the benefit of both countries. I'll read a little bit from this article just to give you a little bit more context, but I think that's generally speaking the, thrust of what's going to be happening. Embattled Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is not expected to announce a decision on his future over the Christmas holidays, a person familiar with the matter said Monday. The person spoke on condition of anonymity, as they were not authorized to speak publicly on the matter. The Prime Minister will be traveling to British Columbia with his family from December 26th to January 2nd. Concerns about Trudeau's leadership were exacerbated last week when Chrystia Freeland, Trudeau's finance minister and deputy prime minister, I forgot the deputy prime minister part, abruptly resigned from the cabinet after she was told she would no longer be finance minister. A growing number of Liberal members of Parliament want Trudeau to step aside, fearing the party is headed for an historic defeat. They definitely are, and getting Trudeau, out of the way is not going to change that. The Liberal Party is going to lose. They're going to lose whether Trudeau steps aside or not. Maybe if Trudeau does step aside, which he's not going to, but if he were, maybe that gives him a little bit of lead time to, try to get some new leadership. Maybe the Canadian people give them a little bit more, rope to hang themselves with, give them a little bit more time. But it's almost certainly not going to happen. Trudeau is not the personality to step aside, even if he's doing, bad. It's just not going to happen. But I don't think, even if it did, it wouldn't have really changed anything in terms of the landscape of the Canadian government. It remains an open question whether Trudeau will lead the Liberal Party into next year's elections. Parliament is now shut for the holidays until late next month. The leftist New Democratic Party said Friday it would vote no confidence after lawmakers reconvene on January 27th. Now, I don't know the full timetable for how quickly elections could happen after a vote of no confidence. I don't know the full mechanics of the Canadian electoral, system in terms of, are they going to have snap elections where it's just a popular party and they're going for, provinces and the amount of provinces or counties or whatever, that's how you're electing, the amount of seats to government, and then the seats to government then form a coalition of a majority, and whichever party got the plurality of votes elects their leader, and the leader is then the prime minister. That would be my guess as to what it is, but to be fair, I don't know. Please let me know in the comments if you do know. I'd be very interested to hear from you. When Trudeau returns from the holidays, he could move to suspend Parliament for months while a party leadership race is held, or he could delay an opposition day when a no-confidence vote could be scheduled in Parliament. That seems like crazy rules lawyering that, I wouldn't put it past him, but would just be like putting extra nails in the coffin for the Liberals. If they're doing that kind of stuff, better that they bow out gracefully, and it will be a less humiliating defeat for them. But very unshockingly, Trudeau might do something like that. Because Trudeau's Liberals do not hold an outright majority in Parliament, they have for years depended on the support of the NDP, the National Democratic Party, to pass legislation and stay in power. But that support has vanished. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh made clear Friday the NDP will vote to bring down the government. Yeah, that's definitely what it seems like. I don't know how much of this is the Chrystia Freeland, resignation, and how much of this is just like, they see the writing on the wall. They want to, put their votes where it will matter. They think they can get a better deal in, an election in the future. That'd be my guess. Trudeau, who has led the country for nearly a decade, has become widely unpopular in recent years over a wide range of issues, including the high cost of living and rising inflation. It is crazy. The state of Canada right now is bananas in terms of the real drop in living standards and just, the economic realities and the security issues, the strife. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. There is no mechanism for Trudeau's party to force him out in the short term. And that's kind of why I don't think Trudeau's going to get out. I think it's just straight up going to be, it's going to be elections. Trudeau is out because the Liberal Party is going to be out. And at that point, I don't know if he retains leadership in the party. I don't know the mechanism. If they're not in power, he's not the prime minister anymore, I don't know if they can just, get rid of him with the wave of a hand. My guess is yes. He could say he will step aside when a new party leader is chosen, or his Liberal Party could be forced from power by a no-confidence vote in Parliament that would trigger an election that would very likely favor the opposing Conservative Party. It definitely would, for sure, right? The political upheaval comes at a difficult moment for Canada. Well, yeah, that's generally speaking when political upheaval happens. It's, in times of difficulty. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has threatened to oppose 25% tariffs on all Canadian products if Canada does not stem what he calls a flow of migrants and drugs in the United States, even though far fewer of each cross into the U.S. from Canada than from Mexico. Yeah, I think he's threatened to impose the same or greater tariffs on Mexico. So, and to be honest, again, look, the tariff stuff, I think, is in large part a negotiation tactic. Come to the table, we're going to get what we want. We're the big dog in this negotiation. This is what we could do. We could impose a 25% tariff on you. It's going to hurt Americans. It's going to hurt Canadians more. But I don't want prices to go up. However, if that's what it takes to get a better deal, we'll do it. I think that's a fair negotiating standpoint. Again, I'm not a fan of tariffs, but, you use the tools you got to get what you want. Trudeau has not addressed his future or taken questions from the media since his finance minister resigned. But he has said his government is preparing for Trump's inauguration on January 20th. Trudeau is scheduled to participate virtually in a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Canada-U.S. relations on Monday. That's probably already happened. So, what do we think? Do Canadians want Trudeau and the Trudeau government to be negotiating with Donald Trump? If they're smart, they don't. They are not going to get a good deal. Trudeau is not well liked in the U.S. He's widely unpopular in Canada. And I don't think he's going to get a good deal for Canadians out of Trump and the Trump government. He is super unpopular. He does not have the political will or mandate to, do anything that might possibly hurt the lives of Canadians. Trump does. Trump has a sort of Javier Milei, we're going to give you some room. We understand that things are rough now and that you cannot turn the ship around, with the snap of a finger. You're going to, you're going to get a little bit of, leeway to do what you need to do. And if that makes things in the short term more difficult for Americans, which I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, we're going to give you that to secure our long-term future. Trudeau's not going to have that. If Trudeau does anything that bumps down the living standards of Canadians even a little bit for a short term, it's not going to fly. He's going to be out. And that is a bad spot to be negotiating from. With that being said, good luck in all your endeavors. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and I shall say farewell for now.